Aluminum or carbon? Possibly the oldest question in the known universe. We've all seen videos about this, but what about high-end aluminum versus carbon? Well, today I'm taking on the challenge of answering this question. What's faster, high-end aluminum wheels or high-end carbon wheels? Now, before we do any testing, let's see what wheel sets we're dealing with. Up first, we have the i9 Trail 270. So this is a super sweet wheel set. It's got the i9 Hydra hubs. It's got the straight pull spokes, super strong, super stiff, awesome wheel set. System weight came in at 8.9 pounds, fully loaded, like what you would put on your bike to actually ride it. This is not just the rims, 8.9 pounds for the aluminum wheels. And now for the carbon wheels. So this is the NOBL TR32 wheel set. It's got bird spokes and i9 Solus hubs. And this wheel set comes in at 7.7 pounds. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, if you have straight pull spokes on one wheel set and bird spokes on another wheel set, could the differences just be because of the spokes? And potentially. But what I want to do today is I want to not just compare carbon versus aluminum. What I want to compare is kind of the whole wheel system. Later, I'm going to head to the trails for a head-to-head wheel set showdown. But first, let's check out our experimental design.
So my prediction in all of this is that the carbon wheels will be faster by a lot. For this testing, I will time myself on 4 segments. A long climb segment, as well as a shorter sub-segment within the overall climb. I'll also be timing myself on a long descending segment with a shorter descending sub-segment within the overall descent. On the climbs, I'll control my output with the aid of my power meter to average 220 watts. And of course, I'll do this with both wheel sets.
So this tree right here, where it says CB239, that is the tree where I'm going to hit my timer. That's going to be the start of our lap. And right there, where I come out, that'll be the end. Average watts on the GPS say 220. Hitting the lap timer. And now we go downhill, and I kind of open it up. All right, the thing I'm paying attention to right here is after I brake and I come out of a corner, is how quickly I accelerate and come back up to speed. This being the control test, right now it doesn't feel any different than normal, but I want to take note of that for when I run the carbon wheels and notice if there's any, like noticeable difference. All right, feeling good. That was a good clean run. It's powerful, it was strong. It was just like a good strong descending effort. And by that bush, lap timer. Back at the van, got the bike here. Gonna take the i9s off, throw on the NOBL. All right, heading back up. Got the NOBLs on now. And I don't hear any weird brake rubbing. Shifting's all good. Everything feels good. So we're ready to rock and start the real experiment part of today. Okay, we're back to where we're gonna start our timed portion. Right at the tree up there, the marked tree. 220 watts. That's the goal. And here we go. Lap timer now. I'm partway up the climb and definitely noticing a difference. I'm a little surprised actually. It's kind of a delightful surprise. The bike feels just a little lighter and a little more, I don't know, just like a little easier to spin the cranks. My average lap watts were 221, which is only one different than the first time, so that's pretty darn good. All right, downhill. Here we go. This is the part I'm really curious about. We are just about to the finish. That was about the same effort that I gave before. Didn't feel terribly different. Okay, and that bush. Okay, friends, what did we learn today? Let's take a look at our data. Aluminum i9 Trail 270s on the big climb. These did 22 minutes and 17 seconds. On the mini climb, these did 14 minutes and 48 seconds. On the big descent, they did 9 minutes and 48 seconds. And on the mini descent, they did 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And this is the one, actually, that I'm really, really curious about. And the reason why is because controlling your watts with an average power over a long climb is really, really challenging to do. I feel kind of good about it, but also I felt like it was a little bit wonky to try to do it that way. As far as descending goes, trying to monitor your descending to keep things even was pretty challenging over the course of the descent. But on this mini descent, I basically went not all out. Like, it wasn't like a KOM run on it, but it was kind of like close to that. And so it really did feel like this is the one that's really going to be the measure that we want to look for. So those are the i9s, but what about the carbon run? Well, oh gosh, darn it, that keeps on popping up. I don't know, it's so weird that just keeps on popping up everywhere. Like, where does that even come from? I don't know. Okay, carbon test results. So for the Nobles, on the big climb, they did 22 minutes and 20 seconds. On the mini climb, they did 14 minutes and 49 seconds. On the big descent, they did 9 minutes and 37 seconds. And on the mini descent, they did 1 minute and 41 seconds. So let's break things down here. What does this all mean? Well, on the climbs, the wheels were really, really similar. There was only a few seconds difference, and that was actually the aluminum wheels that went faster. But like I said earlier, I think there might have been issues in that. As far as the big descent, the Nobles did go faster, but again, monitoring output and all that was really, really challenging. But the interesting one, and the one I think we should all be really, really interested in, is the mini descent. The one where I went all out on both efforts. The difference between the aluminum rims and the carbon rims was 30 seconds on a 0.33 mile segment. That is a third of a mile. And I went 30 seconds faster on the carbon wheels, which is just blows my mind. Final thoughts on this head-to-head wheel shootout between carbon and aluminum. Here's where I landed on this. Really, the part of this that I'm the most interested in is that result on that mini descent segment. 30-second difference over 0.33 miles is gargantuan. That is huge. I cannot overemphasize how big of a difference that is. Now let's talk price. At the time that I bought these, and things are more expensive now due to global developments, the difference in price between these two wheel sets was only about $300, with the carbon wheels being $300 more. So if you're gonna spend $1,500 on a set of wheels, and you can get carbon wheels for $1,800, it's still a big purchase. So it's not like we're talking like the difference between $400 and $2,000. It's only a few $100s difference to go with the carbon. Last thought is that for a company like NOBL, they have a lifetime guarantee on their wheels. So if you break a wheel, they'll replace it. For me personally, it's a no-brainer. I'd go with carbon. One more thing, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but if you're still watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out.